Question 4, Mark Isherwood.
Will the First Minister make a statement on the provision of autism services in Wales?
Well, since 2008, the Autistic Spectrum Disorder Strategic Action Plan has provided over £12 million for the provision of autism services in Wales, and we're working with the stakeholder advisory group in terms of working towards developing future priorities for action, and that work will come to a head in the new year.
Thank you very much. At the recent cross-party autism group, members there voted unanimously in favour of calling for an Autism Act. Different branches and support groups stated, to give example, they don't benefit. There's little benefit on the lives. The difficulty is that it has no teeth. Autism services in the area is still very limited, and adult services basically non-existent, and people are being pushed into further crisis. And particular concern was raised, as you'll be aware, about the withdrawal of ring-fencing by the Welsh Government from funding for the ASD Action Plan delivery as it goes to local authorities. Last week, your Health Minister confirmed positively that he'd written to each local authority telling them to continue to spend the money on autism, and that he'll be monitoring local authorities to ensure this happens. Will you ensure, working with the Health Minister, that a copy of that letter is shared with Assembly members, and that Assembly members are kept informed on progress?
Yes, of course, there's no difficulty with that. In terms of the autism proposed, we call it an autism bill rather than act at this stage, this is an issue raised with me by constituent on Friday, so it is something I know that the Minister responded to last week during his questions. I know that he said that he would be seeking advice as to the possible benefits of such a bill, and that is something that we will consider, of course, actively. But we know that such a bill wouldn't come forward now until after 2016, given the length of time left in this Assembly.
Simon Thomas.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, but there is an additional learning needs bill which is already in the pipeline with government now in implementing that bill, which will change the support that some pupils with autism receive in our schools, for example. Are you going to provide additional funding to ensure that that bill succeeds?
Well, of course, this is part of the discussion around the bill itself, and we've said already that where there is legislation that places duties on local authorities, we would expect the changes to be funded. So that's a principle that's been in place for years now. We all understand that where there is legislation coming into force, it's important to consider the financial situation and to ensure that that funding is in place to ensure that the bill and then the act is effective.
William Powell.
Diolch yn fawr, Llywyd. First Minister, with the concerns that are out there across Wales in terms of the dropping of the ring fencing of 40,000 per local authority, and given your Health Minister's undertaking to write to all local authorities, urging them to spend the money still within the autism field, would it not be a good idea to actually engage with your Minister to actually ask him to reconsider the removing of that ring fence, given the importance that that money has had since 2008 in underpinning the delivery of the ASD strategy, particularly as it comes for the refresh, which I understand will be launched shortly?
Well, officials will be monitoring the way in which spending on autism is taken forward at local authority level over the course of the coming year. Of course, if there are signs that the service is not keeping to the standard that we would expect, then we will have to take certain actions. But first things first, we will be monitoring the new arrangements in order to make sure that they are satisfactory.
Question 5, Alan Roberts.
Yep.